paragraph, there's a line that starts with a 3-unit general education course. Can I have a volunteer read that special exception, please? So page 88, top left, the first paragraph, on left in the middle of the paragraph, the line that starts with a 3-unit general education course.
A 3-unit general education course required for your major, but not in your major department, may be used in section 4 exploration of human experience only if your major requires at least 27 units for the BA degree or at least 39 units for the BS degree.
Thank you. Okay, so this exception is also outlined on page 90, the top left, number 4. So, here again is the exception. So the exception is a 3-unit course required for the major, but not in the major department, may be used in section 4 explorations only if the major requires at least 27 units for the BA degree or at least 39 units for the BS degree. Okay, so let's look at some examples. Let's go to page 290. We're looking at the hospitality and tourism management major, emphasis in hotel operations and management. So first, you want to look at the major to figure out, or actually not, I'm sorry. First, we want to check the type of degree. Okay, so this is a Bachelor of Science. Next, we want to see how many upper division units are required in the major. So how many upper division units are required in the major?
$47.
47, yes. Okay, so again, this is listed under the major, so make sure that you're looking at the correct emphasis. Okay, that's easy to get tripped up on. The units required in the upper division major are listed in the very first line after major. This is the same for every major and emphasis. Don't look further in the requirements and begin adding additional requirements. So again, the number listed in the first line are the upper division units required for the major. So 47. So does that meet the minimum for this exception for a Bachelor's of Science degree?
Yes.
Yes, because at least 39 units are required. Okay, so first step, we had to see what type of degree. So we know that it's a Bachelor of Science. Second step, we had to see how many units are required. So 47 units, so it does qualify for the exception. But now, third step, we have to look at the required courses in the upper division major. Are there any outside the major department? So any courses listed there that are not HTM courses? Yes. Now, are any of those courses listed in explorations? So we have to go hunting a little bit. Olivia, do you have an answer? Okay.
I have a question. So when you see that they're like not the same as the major, so HTM, what kind of a loss? Like where do you look under foundations or under the
You mean under exploration?
Yeah, under
Because we're looking at upper division. So give me an example of a class that's not HTM.
Business Administration 3 planning.
Okay, so then what would be so where would you look in the catalog to see, first of all, what's the prefix for business administration? If you don't already know it.
Under the Business Administration page itself,
Yeah,
major.
exactly. So then we'll see that the prefix is BA, okay?
Okay.
So then you can go to the explorations list and you're looking at science, social behavioral, humanities. It's listed alphabetically, so you can just scan real quick and see if you see any business administration or BA courses. You don't, right?
Oh,
No. Okay. So now what's another course? Okay, RTM 404, so now you can go back to the explorations, looking at each of the three lists, and you want to scan to see if you can find that. Okay, so what explorations does it cover? Perfect. So, did everyone catch that? RTM 404 is not in the HTM department. It is listed in the major requirements, and it's on the approved list of Upper Division GE for the social and behavioral science for explorations. So it can be used to double count an Upper Division GE and Upper Division major requirement. And also it has an asterisk. So what does that mean it covers? Yeah, the cultural diversity requirement. Perfect. So does this make sense? Okay. Let's go over a couple more examples and then we'll have an activity. Okay. Okay, so let's look at Asian Studies on page 148. So first of all, we have to ask the question, what type of degree does it lead to? A BA, I heard somebody say. And what is the minimum required for upper division units in the major? 27. So does it meet the exception?
Yes.
Yes. 27 for a BA, 39 for a BS. Yep. So it meets the exception. Are there any courses that are outside Asian Studies Department listed? Yep, and then if you go back to the explorations, are there any of those courses that are also explorations courses? That's exactly right. Comparative Literature 451 is in the Upper Division GE Explorations Humanities. It also has a asterisk, so it satisfies the cultural diversity component. Okay, let's look at another example. Let's look at the CFD major, Child Family Development, page 174. So first of all, what type of degree does it lead to? A BS, that's correct. And how many upper division units required for the major? 50. So we could use the exception here, because that's over 39 units, or 39 or more. Are there any required courses for the major that are outside CFD? The answer is no. So can you use the exception here? No, because it's not outside the major department. Okay. Any questions on that before we move to the activity? Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to pass out one scenario per table. I want you all to take a look at it. And remember, we're answering 3 questions. So we're answering what type of degree is it for the major? How many units required? So that will tell us if it meets the exception. And then are there classes listed for the major outside the major department that are also in the explorations list? Before we start that activity, Natalie's going to make a couple announcements.
All right. Hey everyone. So first, of course, we got to do the quiz scores. So the top average, or the third top average quiz score team was Nikki with an 8.4. The second, and then the second top average quiz score was Julia's team with 8.5. And then the top average quiz score team was Javier's team. So I'm going to update Ricky Team Challenge like tomorrow, but this week's been crazy with midterms with me, so that's why they're not updated, but tomorrow they'll be updated, so look out for that. And then next training, as Heather mentioned, she won't be here. So we're going to be doing a activity, or multiple activities to practice small group presentations. So if I were you, I would be comfortable with the script and administering a small group presentation, because we are going to be doing activities for that. And then along with that, make sure that you bring your scripts, your folder with handouts, your handbook, and your catalog to next training. You'll want those. Any questions about that? Okay, also for quizzes, there won't be a quiz, first of all, next week. So the next quiz that you'll have will be, not next week, but the training after that, when Heather's back. But when we do quizzes next time, when you're done, make sure you raise your hand, because I know sometimes it's hard, like knowing if you're done or not. So when you're done, make sure you raise your hand and then give your quiz to your TI. That's it. And I can do those help.
And then just to remind you that the review is due next week from the class. Okay, so one scenario per table. So go ahead and look at it and answer it, and then we'll go over the answers as a group. Make sure to write the answer down. I'll be asking for one person from each table to stand up, read your scenario out aloud, and give the answer that your group came up with. So remember, type of degree, how many units required for the major, does it qualify for the exception? So we have to check both the units, and if there are elective courses required for the major that are also on the explorations list. Thank you.